Hello everyone, Ron here from RJJ's Reactions, and I am here with a bumped up request from George. Thank you very much, George. The band is the Stranglers, and the song is North Winds Blowing. I don't think I've heard of either one, so this should be excellent. George said this is from 1984, and it's considered a deep cut, so not their most popular song or the most maybe radio friendly song or whatever, but often deep cut songs can be the best ones. You never know. I won't be able to compare because I don't know the Stranglers uh, repertoire, so I won't be able to compare whether this is the best one or better than others at this point anyway, because I haven't heard their others. Uh, However, I have pulled up the lyrics. I haven't read them yet, but we'll go over the lyrics afterwards. I often have difficult time hearing the lyrics on a first listen. If I do hear them clearly enough, there's no CC here. It often doesn't work anyway. But if I do hear them clearly enough, I'll just say my piece during the song. But otherwise, I'll pull up the lyrics afterwards and I'll have a look at those. I will put a link in the description to the Stranglers channel so that you can go there and subscribe and like and comment and support the artist. Definitely want to do that. Also in the description, you'll see how to bump up your request and get it within days rather than months on the regular list. It's very easy. There's 3 ways to donate to the channel. You can just donate if you like. Thank you to everyone who has. Or you can use one of those methods. Tell me what you want me to react to, and you will get yours much quicker. Also, don't forget to subscribe here. If you already have, thank you, thank you. Thank you to everyone who has shared videos as well and commented, sent messages and information. I read everything you send and answer as much as I possibly can. Clicking on the notifications can help too, especially when videos are blocked. We've been having quite a few lately. I don't know about this one. Hopefully it should get through, I think. All right, the Stranglers, North Winds Blowing, Oral Sculpture. I like the name of that album. And got the giant ear there. Nice. Mm.
I saw an orange road burning, I saw youth on fire, I saw metal machines that were turning on a generation that hadn't yet tired. I heard of 2 generations being murdered in a Europe that was shrouded in black. I witnessed the birth pains of new nations when the chosen people finally went back.
I'll back up. I probably won't stop again till the end. The lyrics are fairly clear here, but I think I'll go over them afterwards. That way I don't have to keep stopping throughout the video. Um, yeah, very good. I was sort of just before the vocals started coming in, I was going to say they kind of look like spies or something standing here. Just the impression, and even some of the intro music sounded like that too. But now we've got the vocals going on, so I have some ideas of where they're going already, but we'll talk about the lyrics afterwards. Really like the voice as well.
Fire. I saw metal machines that were turning on a generation that hadn't yet tired. I heard of 2 generations being murdered in a Europe that was shrouded in black. I witnessed the birth pains of new nations when the chosen people finally went back. I saw freedom in the shape of disease, and mainly men had to quench their desire. And while a few could do just as they pleased, I saw kids whose bellies were all on fire. When all is dead and war is over, when hollow victory has been won, who will join
The instrument instrumentation is very full and
I used to dream about destruction, but now that I feel it getting near, I spend my time watching the ocean, and waves are all I want to hear. I wish I was a believer. I'd spend less time in being sad. So many laws against disbelieving. I don't know who's good or who's bad. North winds blow.
super. All right. I kept choking up, so I was trying to say something, and cough would come. I couldn't finish my thought, but yeah, instrumentation very, very full, rich. Loved it. Loved the percussion in behind there as well, and yeah, from the 80s, you can hear a lot of 80s influences. Whether the Stranglers were influenced by others or they influenced them, I don't know which way, but probably all of it, because everyone is. Whenever you're in an industry, you are generally going to be influenced by others, but then if you reach a certain level, at least are going to influence them as well. So, but you can get that vibe in there. I'm not going to name any bands because some people might get upset about that, but it's there. You probably can hear it if you were listening to the 80s or you could have been born well after that and still go back to the 80s. Listen, I have lots of very young students who go back even further because they listen to their parents or their grandparents' music. But yeah, really, really well done. I can see why it wouldn't be all that radio friendly. It's a bit dark. I mean, the topic's a bit dark, and I'll talk about the lyrics in a minute. And musically as well, it's a lot of it is more of a sort of not really storytelling, but narration of getting the ideas and the thoughts, and some of them very painful thoughts as well, I think, out there. So that's not something that is generally more poppy, cheerful sort of songs that are played on the radio most of the time. Not that I listen to the radio much anymore. However, yeah, really interesting, and I loved the instrumentation. I loved his vocals as well. I don't have the names of the band. I usually don't do research when I'm coming in to a new band. Sometimes I look up the names. I didn't in this case. So if I do more, I'll have a check, or you can let me know. I'm going to look at the lyrics now. If you're not sticking around, don't forget to subscribe here. Check in the description to go subscribe to the Stranglers channel. But I hope you'll stick around for the lyrics. Let's have a look now. Okay, here we are. North winds blowing by the Stranglers. Sounds dangerous. I saw an orange road burning. I saw a youth on fire. I saw metal machines that were turning on a generation that hadn't yet tired. I heard of two generations that were being murdered in a Europe that was shrouded in black. I witnessed the birth pains of new nations when the chosen people finally went back. So the orange road burning and the youth on fire, I'm not entirely sure. It seems like Hiroshima, but I don't think so because then we have the wars coming after that. So metal machines, a generation that hadn't yet tired. Two generations, that's the First and Second World War, I think that they're talking about there, probably being murdered in Europe, shrouded in black, and the birth pains of new nations and the chosen people. I would say the so-called chosen people finally went back. So talking about Israel and the nations being, the borders sort of being drawn and realigned or whatever during that time period. North winds blowing. I wish they'd blow you all away. North winds blowing. I wish they'd blow you all away. I saw a freedom in the shape of disease, and mainly men had to quench their desire. And while a few could do just as they please, I saw kids whose bellies were all on fire. So looking at a lot of world issues, I think shape of disease, and mainly men had to quench their desire. That's what used to be called the gay disease, and AIDS, which again is not really accurate either. I mean, they're doing an accurate job. I'm just saying what people used to say. Um, yeah, and while a few could do just as they please, I saw kids whose bellies were all on fire. So I think that's probably the poverty and starvation that happens while other people are working out basically. And then all is dead and war is over. When hollow victory has been won, who will join in the celebration of an evil that can't be undone? I'm not sure if I have anything to say too much about that, but yeah, you can't undo it. You can only move forward, and that's always the case. You can only move forward and keep trying, I guess. I know it's frustrating, and sometimes you want to give up on humanity altogether. I used to dream about destruction. Now that I feel it getting near, I spend my time watching the ocean, and waves are all I want to hear. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's talking about there, but there are people who are anarchists. There are people who are not really anarchists, but they kind of say, let's just destroy all the institutions, and it'll be so much better without the police, without the government, without this, without that. The problem with that idea is what comes next, and if you look around the world, what usually comes next is worse, not better. So. Um, Again, I'm a Canadian. I'm living in Canada just south now. We're having some changes, and you know, somebody's idea is just destroy all the institutions, rip them to shreds, and not respect them, and then there'll be something better. But what is that better? Well, we have a concept of a plan. What the hell is that? So I'm uh, I'm trying really not to go into a rant, so I'll keep it there. But yeah, the idea of just destroying things will make things better because, you think, well, we know better than everybody else. Well, yeah, but who's the we? Because once they get in there, they all start fighting with one another, and you end up with something, sometimes for decades or longer, that's much, much worse than what was there before. So I'm not sure that's the solution. And maybe that's what it means. I used to dream about destruction, but now he just wants to hear the ocean. Um, Yeah, nice calm hearing the ocean waves sometimes, as long as it's not a hurricane coming to get you. I wish I was a believer. I'd spend less time maybe in being sad. So many laws against disbelieving. I don't know who's good or who's bad. Yeah, sometimes it's a comforting thought or a nice thought. If I believed, I could I could take solace in the idea that there's a world after this, that I'm going to heaven or some other nice place. And um, but of course, if you don't believe, then you're lying to yourself, and that's no good. And believing in some falsehood isn't really a solution to me. I can't I just can't make myself go there. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. And I think that sometimes that allows you to think things and do things that are not so good for this world because you're too busy thinking about what's to come next and how right you are without ever acknowledging or even considering that maybe you're not right. North winds blowing, blow all away, blow all away. Yeah, I guess blow all away, blow all the treachery, greed, whatever you want to call it. Get it out of here, all the metal machines that we create, murdering various generations, just disrupting them, destroying them. And it's, of course, still going on today. We have wars happening right now. Um, and you wonder what is the outcome? What is the end result? Have you ended up any further ahead? I don't know. I'll leave it there. Very, very interesting lyrics, looking at a number of sort of world issues, human issues that we mostly create for ourselves. Of course, nature will kill you anyway, eventually, but we create an awful lot of problems for ourselves too. Hopefully you're not doing that. Hopefully you're busy trying to make things good, at least in your own circle. And that's often all we can do. I mean, there's a limit to what we can do. Uh, and I think that's probably what we should focus on rather than getting totally depressed and anxious and frustrated. Although I can see how that can happen, and sometimes you just got to narrow it in and say, you know what, I can't stop what they're doing, but I can. I'm going to knock this thing over here. I can sort of control my little circle, my little area, and try to make things as good as I can for me and my family and friends, and extend that as much as you wish to. All right. Thank you very much, George, for this request. It was a great one. What was I going to say? Oh, yes. Keep listening, keep having fun. Check in the description below to go to the Stranglers channel and support them. Don't forget to subscribe here if you have already. Thank you so much. If you want your request bumped up as George did with this one, check in the description. It's very easy to do. All right, it's Ron from RJJ's Reactions. Bye bye for now.